This community is not about ambition or getting rich. Although you can make a lot of money and change your life with it, it's more about just having a good community. And that's life-changing. It's like a happy life for me when I live in a good community. And one of the main aspects of that is attitude. Let me explain how dysfunctional the society I've been living in is. You know, mainstream society, how dysfunctional. I live around people, and some of my neighbors will vandalize my property for no reason. And I'm just like, why would you vandalize my property? Why would you do that? And I go to the police. I like to make a police report. Someone vandalized my property. The police will refuse to make a report. And like, why would the police do that? It doesn't make sense, you know? I go to school, and the teacher just refuses to teach. They just don't care. And I'm like, why would the teacher refuse to teach? You know, like, what's going on here? And so on and so forth down the line. I go to work, and they give me some boring, monotonous job, you know, cleaning toilets all day, and they badly need managers. And I'll say, why don't you just train me on management so I can make more money? And you'll make more money too, because we'll both win. And they refuse to train me on management. And I'm like, what's going on here? This isn't making any sense. And it really, you know, I'm going to be 40 years old here soon, you know? And I've spent my whole life trying to figure out what is going on. Why are the people acting this way? Where's all this dysfunction and stupid behavior coming from? And I eventually was able to figure it out. So let me go back and put it in terms that you can easily understand, because a lot of times people are not obvious about it. Even when people say, oh, I'm a genius and I'm superior to everyone else, secretly underneath that, you'll peel away that layer and you'll get to this loser nonsense. So when I have a neighbor, why is the neighbor vandalizing my property? Because he says, we're just losers. You're a loser. I'm a loser. We're all losers. Who cares? We deserve to have our property vandalized. And then they slash the tires, key your car. It's like they hate themselves and they hate all the other people around them. They hate their community. It's like a community against itself. And then I go to the police and I say, I'd like to report a crime. And the police officer's just like, you're a piece of trash. You're a loser. You'd be rich if you were worth anything. Who cares about you? Who cares? We're all losers. This is real. This is really the kind of stuff people tell me. But sometimes they don't tell you that. And you got to kind of figure it out for yourself. Like, this is why they're acting that way. They have no respect for you. They have no respect for the community. When it comes to a cop, they have no respect for the law. And that's why people are acting this way. You go to a job, and, you know, I say, you know, why don't you train me on better positions and treat me with respect? No, you're just a loser. You're a worthless piece of trash. You'd be rich already if you weren't. You wouldn't be working here if you were a decent human being. It's like they hate you or something. They have no respect for you. They think that you're just garbage. And it's everywhere. You know, if I get a roommate and I help that person out, like, I'm helping you with cheap rent, I'm doing you a favor, and then they'll just punch a hole in the wall. And they'll pee on the floor, and they'll rob you when you're at work, and then they'll refuse to pay the rent. Who cares? You're just a loser. We're all trash here. We're losers. We're losers. That's every person I deal with. A good example of that is you go to online dating, and there's thousands and thousands of people on here, thousands of profiles. And I'll say, hey, I don't care if you're attractive or not, or I'm not being picky. If you want to go hang out and have a good time, let's meet. I'll pay. We'll go somewhere. We'll go to Kings Island. We'll go to the bar. We'll go to Disney World. Who cares? You know, wherever you want to go, let's just meet, get to know each other, have a good time. Every single one. I've been on these sites for years trying to meet one normal person. Every single one will say, are you rich? What's your job? What kind of car do you have? I'm like, I'm not rich. You're a loser. You're just a loser. You'd be rich already if you weren't a loser. Like, you don't know me. You don't know anything about me. Like, we just met. Like, I just messaged you and said, let's go hang out and get to know each other. Like, okay. So maybe I'm a loser. If that's what I'm not saying I am, but that's what you're saying. Let's just hang out anyway, have a good time. No, screw you. You're a piece of crap. And they insult and insult and insult and insult and insult. And it's like, man, I get depressed listening to these people. They just, say every nasty thing, and it's not one person, it's just endemic. It's throughout the entire community. It's like the teachers, they think that their students are losers and pieces of crap, and they think of themselves as pieces of crap. The people in the community, they hate everyone in the community. The police hate the police shoot people in the back. They'll shoot someone in the back. Oh, he deserved to die. They're all scum. Everybody's a piece of garbage. They're all losers. They deserve to be shot. That's really how the police act. I mean, like, are you kidding me? Like, let me give you a secret to life, okay? This attitude is not necessary. You are a loser if you say you're one. If you have that attitude, that's what makes you a loser. That attitude, you choose that. You choose to be a loser, okay? You choose to disrespect yourself, and you choose to disrespect other people. And there's nothing gained from it, okay? Unless you're completely defective. Like, maybe there are a few people that are just completely lost in life and they have to accept being a loser, but for the most part, like, I go to work and everything could be operating smoothly. We could be making a lot of money, we could have a good time, it could be wonderful if people just acted normal. But they won't act normal. They'll sit there and okay, can you train me on this position? You badly need bartenders. Why don't you just train me? No, I can't. You're a loser. You can't do it. It's impossible. And I'm like, I have a gifted IQ. I have an extremely high IQ. I have extremely high intelligence. I don't care how high your IQ is. You'd be rich already if you know so much. We're losers. And I can't break through that. I argue with people. My family is like that. Now, each individual's a little bit different, but more or less they have this loser attitude. They don't respect me. A lot of times they don't respect themselves. They don't respect other people. My neighbors are like this. I moved to a different town and they're the same way. Police officers are like this. I deal with a different police district. It's the same attitude, more or less. I work at 100 different jobs. Every job, it's the same attitude. Now, there are other problems, like a lot of people just aren't that smart. You know, you have all these hillbillies and rednecks and ghetto people, and a lot of times they're not very intelligent. I think that's tied into this loser mentality. But you don't have to be that smart to be successful or to have a good life, but the attitude is essential. You'll never have a good life if you have that bad attitude. You disrespect other people and you disrespect yourself. And what's weird is, like I've said in other videos, or like I've written on the website, is that it's like the motorcycle clubs and stuff that I've never had a problem with. Like, they seem to respect, they understand respect. You know, it's the police officers, the teachers, the politicians, the government agencies, the businesses, everything's mismanaged and misran, and everybody's stabbing each other in the back and lying and cheating and stealing and vandalizing property and peeing on the floor and smearing feces on the wall. And when you're just like, you don't have to smear feces on the wall. We're losers. Who cares? We're losers. You deserve to have feces smeared on you. And you can't reason with these people. Like, I don't know where this attitude is coming from. Was every single person injected with some kind of loser serum? And like, I missed the injection or something? Like, I can't figure it out. Like, what in the world? I do think it's tied to low intelligence and poverty and things like that. Like, but a lot of these people have good paying jobs. Like I said, it's managers at businesses, it's business owners. I can meet a doctor or a lawyer. Okay, I go to the doctor and I say, hey, you know, I like some treatment or something, and the doctor will lie to my face and do all this stuff and treat me very badly for no reason. And I'll say, why are you treating me like this? You're just a loser. You're not worth anything because you're not rich. You're a loser. Like, just do your job properly, you know? It doesn't matter whether I'm a loser or not. Just do your job. No, you're a loser. Same thing with the police. I can call up the FBI. Like, there's serious terrorist threats over here. Who cares? You're stupid. We gotta ignore you. Now, they're not going to act blatantly that stupid. The FBI is more professional with their loser attitude. They're going to act respectful, but then they're going to ignore your complaint. They're going to ignore anything you say because you're not rich, you're not important to them. And then the White House gets blown up because of it. The disrespect doesn't lead to good results. There's no reason for it. Occasionally, you have to take people with a grain of salt. There's a lot of dysfunctional people. There's a lot of weird people. But as a whole, this just doesn't make any sense. And if you want to know whether I'm smart or not, give me an IQ test. Don't sit here, we're all losers, and anybody that's not a millionaire is a loser. If you're not a doctor or a lawyer, you're a loser. You know, I mean, it's stupid. And I don't know where it's coming from because I never thought like this. I never picked up that mentality. But what I'm doing with my community, I want to find like-minded people. Okay, so we just love and respect each other. And everything's functional and healthy and normal. We have a healthy community. We have healthy relationships. We have healthy businesses. And we help each other out, and we're highly successful. We can become millionaires just acting like normal human beings and working together. Starting businesses, helping to educate each other, living as roommates, and so on and so forth, protecting each other from crime, just doing normal things. Like you don't vandalize your neighbor's property. How hard is it? If someone does vandalize property and you work in law enforcement, you need to report the crime and make the arrest and follow simple rules and procedures. It's not that hard. If you run a business, love and respect your workers, pay them a fair wage, train people in better positions. Don't insist that everyone has to be a loser and everyone's stupid or they wouldn't work for you. I mean, that's ridiculous. It's like laughable if it wasn't real. I mean, it'd be like a joke. It's like a bad joke or something. It causes poverty. I've seen people die from this stupidity and the bad attitudes. It's dangerous. And I write about this in my book, all these experiences I've had. It just makes no sense. If you're a teacher, have high expectations out of your students. Okay, if they don't meet those expectations, that's on them. But at least you're doing your best. You're teaching them. You're giving them opportunities. You don't sit there and say, I refuse to teach because my students are not rich. And therefore they all must be stupid and they're all losers. And anybody that's not a millionaire is a loser and we're all pieces of crap. We're all trash. Who cares? I mean that's crazy. And if I report a bad teacher and you run the school, you should get rid of the bad teacher instead of saying, oh, well, the teacher's right. Everybody's a loser. I mean, I've worked, I went to school for teaching before. I've had problems, with the school committing crimes and everything. But I worked with teachers in high schools and middle schools. And literally in the teacher's lounge, they sit there and say that, like, oh, all the students are bad. Everyone's a loser. And it's horrible. There's no reason for that. It starts with your mind. It starts with your attitude. Life can be so much easier, so much better. We could be more successful. And it's the same thing with the people that contact me about Prosperity Society. Either they want me to pay their bills for them or give them a free ride somewhere, or they're just very disrespectful towards me. And, I tell them, like, let's set up a time and place to meet. And they won't do it. Like, they won't listen to me or respect me in any kind of way. Or they say, I'm making a lot of money with my own little cabinet business. And I'll say, why don't you show me the ropes of it? I can make money too. Pfft, yeah, okay, whatever. Like their attitude, it doesn't make sense. And then I'll say, well, you're not what I'm looking for in the society right now. You can contact me later if you want. And then they'll go flag my ad on Craigslist or complain. They get my ads taken down. They just start problems. And that's all any of them do. It's like when you go on the dating site. They just insult. They try to get you banned from the site. They try to argue with you. They complain. They tell you that you're worthless and you're a piece of garbage and you're not good enough. And it's like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you doing this? They're haters and trolls and losers, and that's their mentality. That's how they want to live their life. And there's other issues besides the attitude. Most of these people are smoking dope every day and they're drunk every day. And like I've said elsewhere, I don't have anything against someone smoking weed or drinking, but when you do it constantly 24/7, it's an issue. It's more of an abuse of the drug than it is a use. But the main issue, even though there's problems with people not being very intelligent and they're drunk and high all the time, like, those are secondary. The attitude is the main thing. You could be a raging alcoholic and still be a relatively good person if you have a good attitude and you love and respect yourself and you love and respect other people. Okay? You could be relatively stupid and still be a good person and a productive member of society if you love and respect people. It's not that hard, and I don't understand how can I be dealing with almost 100% of the people are acting like this. They're disrespectful. They're hateful, nasty people that just cause problems. And my goal here is just to get away from that and start dealing with a functional society and a functional community where we can live like normal human beings. Thank you for your time.